the Pentagon and the war criminal Donald Trump has officially decided to invade Venezuela. Several airstrikes in Caracas, and apparently there's ground troops in Caracas, U.S. ground troops in Caracas. A lot of people are livid over this whole development here. Let's get into see what's going on here, man.
Somebody inside Venezuela, a portion of the opposition that could be behind an internal attempt at a coup. It's unclear what exactly he's referring to. He also just posted a second tweet here just minutes ago saying that as of yesterday, Colombia is a member of the United Nations Security Council, and calling for it to be convened immediately to establish the international legality, he wrote, of the aggression against Venezuela. He also added that the United Command Post of Colombia has been activated in Cucuta because obviously there is great fear of the consequences that this could have on the border with Colombia. And we know that the government of Petro has been working on an operational plan along the border in the case of an attack in Caracas or on the ground in Venezuela. Now, remember, one of the big risks here is the possibility of a new mass displacement. Colombia already hosts millions of Venezuelan migrants that have been fleeing the economic, social, political crisis in Venezuela in the past decade, and in particular in the last 5 or 6 years. And obviously, this strike that we're seeing happening tonight is obviously too early to know, but could trigger a new wave of civilian fleeing, particularly if these attacks go beyond tonight and continue in following days. This would obviously strain Colombia's capacities, shelters, especially at a time and a context in which we've seen a reduction of the presence of humanitarian agency operating in Colombia in general and on the border with Venezuela in particular. Also, consider that there is worry here due to armed groups that operate in both countries that move freely often along what is a very porous border between Colombia and Venezuela. So that's obviously also a main issue for, a very big worry for Colombia.
And Alessandro, we have Latin America, obviously quite a politically divided and polarized place, but we have had criticisms of the U.S. intervention and escalation from countries like Venezuela, whose president has pointed out that he believes the motivation for the U.S. is oil, right?
Facts.
We've heard Gustavo Petro say repeatedly that oil...
Yeah, guys, this whole move by Donald Trump is really, again, it's an act of desperation. It really is. And the only reason that they're invading Venezuela currently, apparently now they're saying there's apparent full-scale United States military operations over Caracas with dozens of U.S. Army helicopters flying low amid multiple explosions across the city, including CH-47G Chinook Special Operation helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Large areas of the southern suburbs are reportedly without power as residents hear explosions in low-flying areas. This looks like a full-on invasion. It's just been nonstop military-style blasts over Caracas, unknown fighter jets. You know, this is coming after Donald Trump. You know, no new wars, no new wars. America first, no new wars. You know, armored vehicles being deployed near presidential palace in Venezuela. Deployment indicates heightened security around the Miraflores presidential palace in Caracas. Military presence in central Caracas is increasing. The situation escalates. People are actually reporting gunfire. A lot of gunfire in Caracas. And, this looks like a full-blown ground invasion. Again, everybody exaggerates shit on X and some of these platforms. This could be still, coordinating stuff. And, he wants to sit here and complain about all the Venezuelans are coming over the border and all this shit. Now you're going to see an influx of people all over South America. Where are they going to seek refuge? Where are they going to seek refuge? Right here. And they already took out the airports and all that shit, too.
So was the reason for the military escalation that we've seen on part of the United States in the Caribbean, and in particular in front of Venezuela. Petro has been quite open in criticizing the U.S. President Trump for this. He also repeatedly criticized Trump about and the U.S. government about the attacks that we've seen on boats allegedly carrying drugs across the Caribbean. Over 100 people allegedly have been killed in these attacks on these boats, often saying that they were hitting the lowest level, and that they were saying that this would have had an effect on stopping drugs reaching the United States, when the truth is that the majority of the drugs reaching the United States
from Mexico
moved from the Pacific, and in particular from Ecuador. Cocaine produced in Colombia and Peru, moved by international drug organizations through the Pacific. A small portion, roughly around 8% of the cocaine that is moved from that reaches the U.S. moves from Venezuela. So a very small percentage, which Petro has used to say that in reality regime change was the final goal for the U.S. government, and in particular trying to get rid of President Maduro from Venezuela.
Let's go to our chief U.S. correspondent, Alan Fisher. He's on the line from Washington, D.C. Alan, at this hour, are we hearing anything from U.S. officials about what's happening in Venezuela?
Nothing official that has been released. Certainly we know that Donald Trump is in Palm Beach at his home at Mar-a-Lago. We got a report from the pool that Air Force Two, J.D. Vance's plane, was on the tarmac there earlier today. That would have been pretty unusual. And Marco Rubio is already in Florida, has been for much of the holiday period. And so nothing official from the White House, or indeed the Department of War, as it's now called. But we're expecting something, hopefully, in the next couple of hours that will give us some clarity on what exactly has been happening. But as your guests have been saying, there's been talk of this sort of operation over a number of months. And the reason for it has, of course, varied quite significantly from we need to get Venezuela's oil to we need to get regime change. And, of course, the one that Donald Trump would say is most important, we have to get rid of Nicolas Maduro because he is the head of a cartel which is flooding the United States with fentanyl. Now, essentially, under international law, attacks of this kind that we think have been carried out in Venezuela over the last hour or so would be considered by most countries an act of war. And there are certainly people on Capitol Hill, both Republican and Democrat, who warned Donald Trump not to take any action on the ground in Venezuela without going to Congress for their approval. Now, we've heard from Stephen Miller, of course, he's the Deputy Chief of Staff, one of Donald Trump's chief advisors. He has said, even just in the last couple of weeks, that they think the War Powers Act, which says that a president must go to Congress for any declaration of war, is actually unconstitutional.
He's an idiot thinking that. You think Trump goes to the Congress to declare war? He doesn't give a fuck. He's not. They've already. He's not even fucking following the protocols and going through the Congress and this guy doesn't care about the Constitution, man. Come on. Video here. Troops and civilians flee Venezuelan defense headquarters. Troops and civilians. Let's take a look at this video here. A lot of people dropping shit all over X.
Está viendo la gente, mira, mira cómo está la gente, ¿eh? Una locura está ahí. ¿Estás viendo? ¿Ah? Bueno, mira.
Troops and civilians fleeing. This is Venezuelan armed forces are mobilizing to confront the U.S. military situation could quickly escalate into guerrilla warfare. Yeah, this idiot Trump might be getting involved in something that he's going to be stuck in for a while. And yeah, he just got himself into a fucking... He's stuck in this shit now, man. LaGuardia port after U.S. airstrikes in Venezuela. So they took out the ports, they took out some air bases, they took out all the airports pretty much. You know, this is definitely a mass scale attack. Major explosions. President of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, on war with Venezuela right now. They are bombing Caracas. Alert to the whole world. They have attacked Venezuela. They are bombing with missiles. The OAS and UN must meet immediately. They're not going to do shit, my guy. You got to get your troops in order and resist the illegal U.S. occupation of your country, fucker. Hopefully they stand on business, man. Hopefully they stand on business, bro, because if they start dropping their weapons and leaving their fucking bases and, you know, running off, I mean... Because, you know, Trump was willing to go into Venezuela because he knows this is going to be an easy ride for him, you know, unless there's solid resistance. Unless there's solid resistance and they prepared for this, you know, he wouldn't do the same thing in Iran, you know, let alone, you know, he doesn't want to get stuck in that shit. But, you know, with Venezuela, he's like, let me take my chances because, you know, this guy's regime might be running on thin water. The great Satan, Donald J. Trump. Breaking and unusual from Caracas. Continuous military explosions are shaking the capital following strikes from unidentified fighter jets. Speculations mounting about the start of the American invasion. 6 sites in Caracas turned into fireballs due to military strikes. Yeah, man, get ready for a U.S. mid-air refueling tanker preparing for launch from Puerto Rico. Possible support for Venezuela operations. U.S. Marine Corps KC-130 tankers preparing for takeoff from Puerto Rico. Aircraft likely intended to support ongoing U.S. strike operations over Venezuela. Aerial refueling suggests extended range missions by U.S. forces remain active and coordinated. The footage shows a civilian through Caracas as an airstrike that detonates nearby. These motherfuckers better stand on business, man. Delta Force helicopters have entered Caracas. Oh, home of Venezuela's defense minister and capital port were hit by shelling. Full-scale attack, high risk targets in Venezuela. U.S. military now underway. They better stand on business, man. They better resist this illegal occupation. Mr. No More Wars, fucking Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. No more wars, you fucking clown. And you know what? He's gonna be, if they resist the incoming invasion of the great Satan, you know, this asshole is gonna be stuck. He's gonna be stuck in this. This is gonna be another Afghanistan. If there's some solid resistance, man. But you know, hopefully. But you know, he picked on Venezuela because he knows it's probably going to be a lot easier than going for, you know, Iran or Afghanistan again because you know, we'll see, man. Hopefully these people stand on business, man. You know, just stop us right now. They're bombing Caracas. Alerts to the whole world. They have attacked Venezuela. They are bombing with missiles. OAS and UN must meet immediately. Nobel Peace Prize winner celebrates terrorist bombing. Yeah, they were over here hitting the scamming. Okay. Trump administration officials say they are aware of the reports of explosion of aircraft over Venezuela capital Caracas. So the big pig hasn't really, the big orange pig hasn't made a statement yet. We're still waiting on the statement from the big orange pig. See what's up with the Suleiman space here.
Mobilized, ready to fight, it seems like, against the U.S. invasion on the ground. So yeah, that's the latest in that regard. But yeah, that's craziness. But that's in the YouTube, guys. This conversation's happening in the YouTube link. If the tweet is in the nest, if you go to it, and do follow the YouTube as well, because we do live streaming every day on that as well, separate to the spaces. And we also do videos coming out like on a daily basis as well. So that tweet's in the nest. Click on the YouTube, hit the follow as well, and retweet this space. Myron, from this perspective, do you think it's going to be just? Do you think this is going to be fast and decisive? I mean, it does look like that from the air, but then when it comes to toppling a country, that's a whole different story. It's very complex, and we know these things aren't easy. This could end up being an elongated war if someone doesn't do a coup against Maduro. What's your thoughts on that?
It could go either way. You know, if I think what they're hoping is that he'll run away and leave so they can go ahead and put the woman in power that he beat in the last election, or allegedly beat in the last election. Or they're going to try to
Maria Machado. Sorry, I was speaking to a lot of Venezuelans that I was correcting me. Maria Machado in Venezuela. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, and you know, obviously she promised to have a very good relationship with the Israelis, the United States, right? She would you know, do more business with us, so to speak, probably sell out their oil reserves. But that's kind of what it is. So I think it's going to be one of two things. Either A, he surrenders and leaves and runs out of there, or they're going to stay and they're going to fight. And then, you know, that might not be good for us either, because I think a land invasion into Venezuela, it's a very, you know, dense, it's a big country. People forget that Venezuela is a very big country, similar to Vietnam in some degrees. Yeah. Invading it isn't going to be as easy as people think. So it could go either way, man. I think they're trying to hit them hard today to kind of discourage them from fighting back, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's go to Dago, and then we'll go to Raid. I'm just getting this guy from Venezuela up as well. I'm just sending him the Just need to send the thing, but then yeah, we'll be there. But yeah, sorry. Back to whoever I said. Who did I say, Kit?
And for those who don't know, like, you know, the Israel Zionists have tried to already assassinate Maduro many, many times, and they've failed many, many times before. So I just want to put that in there.
Yeah, but they're gonna achieve their goal this time around. I give this thing, I give this thing like 7. Then I don't think they're gonna assassinate him. I'm sorry, Khaleesi, I didn't mean to say it like that. But he will. I personally think he will leave. They're probably telling him like, we will bomb the ish out of your country. We will continue to bomb until you leave. And no human is gonna say, no, I'm just gonna stay and watch people get killed. Like, they're just gonna bomb from the sky. They're just gonna continue to do this until he leaves, and he will leave. I mean, I can't see anybody, besides the Zionists, or taking on that burden on their shoulders. So I give this 3 days. Like, they're just gonna bomb the hell out of Venezuela until he leaves. This is not gonna take as long as people think. They will achieve that goal of switching out that government. That's what they're going to do. These people are focused. The people who are running Trump are focused. There's nothing they won't do. There's nothing they won't do.
Some more breaking news. Venezuelan President Maduro has declared a state of emergency. He's calling on the people to mobilize to defeat the imperialist
bitch
action.
declares state of war.
So that's that. Sorry, whoever's speaking, go ahead.
No,
If I could
Resist
just add
the
one last point,
occupation,
too,
asshole.
Like Casey, you're making a good point. I think the Air Force of America is the most powerful Air Force, and if the world wants to free itself, it has to have a solution for that. Otherwise, what that girl Casey said is the pretty typical result of what happens here.
Yeah, but
so it's like what he said. What did he say? People mobilized so we could fight the imperialist America. So you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. You don't even have anything to stand up to this. You don't. So it's a wrap. Like, the next thing what are they going to do? Right. And we haven't even seen, like I said, there's new tech that these people are working on. They're going to bomb until he goes. And I highly doubt he's going to wait.
Confirmed by CBS, there is U.S. boots on the ground. There are U.S. special forces on the ground. Trump has officially invaded Venezuela. This is the latest. Is happening right now. Let's go to
And one real quick thing on that, Suleiman. When did we get Congress's approval to go invade Venezuela? Right?
Duh.
Interesting.
Yeah, where's Russia and China when you need them, man? Like, that's don't they get a lot of their oil from Venezuela and Iran and these places? I mean, like, they got to band together because there's no way of holding back the Zionist-controlled Satanist regime of the Trump administration. And now, it looks like they were already officially confirmed that some Trump ordered strikes in Venezuela. U.S. officials confirming that, launching surgical strikes and troops on the ground. Mercenaries. Venezuelan President Maduro says they are bombing us with missiles. The Organization of American States and UN must meet immediately. They ain't gonna help you out, my guy. You guys gotta resist guerrilla warfare style. All right. Cut that weird shit out, man. Cut that weird shit out. And you know what they're doing? A lot of them are starting to tie in Iran with Venezuela. Like, oh, Venezuela's like an Iranian proxy or some shit in South America. Apache helicopter launching attack in Venezuela. They better get their shit together, man. They better get on the, mobilize and resist this
got a couple of people
illegal invasion here.
YouTube stream that are basically in Venezuela. And if they're being honest, which I believe they are, they're all ready to mobilize and help support Maduro, which is interesting because normally when in the United States of America, you kind of have a different perspective. Like, a lot of the Venezuelans, because they've escaped Venezuela, are very much anti-Maduro. So this is here from Caracas. Apparently, an air operation only. At least 3 airports have been affected. Okay, they believe. Okay, brilliant. I've got it. What's his handle? Okay, we got someone from Venezuela coming in.
Make sure to hit that repost.
I've also sent a link to
right now.
Yeah, definitely. I've also sent a link to Angelo as well, who's on the ground reporting for us. So we'll give you his information. Sorry, he'll be coming up as well. But this guy, I don't know what his handle is, but hopefully he'll tell us. In the meantime, let's go to Red. Go ahead, jump in.
Yes, a couple of things. I think so. When we say boots on the ground, I think there are two scenarios. It might be special forces landing in a specific area. Either they have an assassination objective to kill military leadership and to extract or to try to hold position and for a larger operation. I don't see the American military trying to hold position because let me tell you guys, this whole thing that Maduro might run away or the leadership is going to say, yeah, all right, okay, take it, whatever you want, is not going to happen. The same rallying around, like Marin mentioned, this nationalistic instinct that's going to go up large scale. I'm telling you, I know the Venezuelans. My father lived there. He works there. I know the Bolivarian Revolution. I know the sentiments of these people. They're going to rally around the flag and serious. So I don't think the military has decided to hold up positions because I don't see that happening. Another thing that worries me, Sulaiman and Kalisi, that instant, when the attack on Iran happened, we discovered later through Max Blumenthal and the Gray Zone that somehow Israel and the Zionists within Washington are able to get sort of little modified reports through Mr. Ratcliffe, who's the head of the CIA, that are not quite the truth presented to the president. And Ratcliffe used to show up at the president's office with two Mossad agents on both his left and his right. So this is what I worry about, that they might have presented him with a plan on the ground that will do this, and this is where we think we're going to succeed, and we think Maduro is going to run away, where it is not true from serious CIA people. So this is where I worry about, because if I look at the scenario, what they plan to achieve, I don't see them being able. It's going to be a Vietnam, like 100%. People know that. The people of Venezuela, the armed forces of Venezuela, are not going to just say, all right, bring in Machado. This is not the case at all. But this is the problem with Ratcliffe being propped up and put there by the Mossad, and Israel wanting whatever Israel wants, regardless if American soldiers die. This is what I worry about. And then I don't believe that it's about the oil, because look, bombing a country, changing the regime is something else, but holding oil fields and having oil operations in terms of export and all that, as if nothing is happening while guerrilla warfare goes around you, does not secure the oil at all, especially with drones these days. So I don't know what's up with the plan of hitting Venezuela, but I do not think that they're going to do Venezuela so they can be comfortable doing Iran. No, I think they're going to go for both, including the fronts in Lebanon. Yeah, it is. It is. I don't. The administration with Trump and the influence of the Edelsons and Netanyahu. The things do not make sense. The best thing that I've heard, I think Hassan said it, this Pax Judaica, where they're going to use America just to bash everything and get what they want. And then as long as the Talmudic tribe is
We've
safe
got
and
some
happy.
breaking news. Let me just quickly read this. This is a statement coming out from Venezuela. Let me just quickly read this to you. It is coming in. The information is coming thick and fast. Guys, do retweet, reshare the space. Venezuela issue a statement on the U.S. airstrikes. Maduro declares a state of emergency. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela rejects, repudiates, and denounces before the international community the grave military aggression perpetrated by the current government of the United States of America against Venezuelan territory and its population in the civilian and military areas of Caracas, the capital of the republic, and the state of Miranda, Aragao, and La Guera. This act constitutes a flagrant violation of the Charter of the United Nations. Obviously, we don't know that exists really, especially Articles 1 and 2, which enshrines respect for sovereignty, the legal equality of states, and the prohibition of the use of force. Such aggression threatens international peace and stability, specifically in Latin America and the Caribbean, and places the lives of millions of people at grave risk. The objective of this attack is none other than to seize Venezuela's strategic resources, particularly its oil and minerals, attempting to forcibly break the nation's political independence. They will not succeed. And more than 200 years of independence, the people and their legitimate government stand firm in the defense of sovereignty and in the inalienable right to decide their own destiny. The attempts to impose a colonial war to destroy the Republican form of government and force a regime change in alliances with the fascist oligarchy will fail, as all previous attempts have. Since 1811, Venezuelans have confronted and defeated empires. When foreign powers bombarded our shores in 1902, President Cipriani Castro proclaimed, "The insolent foot of the foreigners has profaned the sacred soil of the fatherland." Today, with the morale of Bolivar, Miranda, and our liberators, the Venezuelan people rise up once again to defend their independence against imperial aggression. People to the streets. Um, just 1 second. That's just half of the statement, actually. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to find the handle. I've got a couple of Venezuelans who are trying to come up. I'm looking at their handle. One is called Cosmic Messenger, guys, if you can look out for him. And the other guy is called... That's not even a handle. This is 9 foot. I'm putting your handle in on YouTube. The person on YouTube was saying he's from Venezuela and he's right next to the presidential palace, but nothing's coming up. Okay, he's something like +9 4, like loads of numbers, guys. If you can just take a look out for him. Could it be this guy? No, it's not. Okay. Let me just read the rest of the statement and then I'll look out for this guy. The Bolivarian government calls on all social and political forces in the country to activate mobilization plans and to repudiate the imperialist attack. The people of Venezuela and their Bolivarian National Armed Forces, in perfect popular military police unity, are deployed to guarantee sovereignty and peace. Simultaneously, the Bulgarian diplomacy of peace will raise the corresponding complaints before the UN Security Council, the Secretary General of the organization, CELAC, and the non-aligned movement, demanding the condemnation and accountability of the US government. I mean, the living doodle and that. There's no such thing as UN and NATO unless it's for the United States of America and Israel. President Nicolas Maduro has ordered all national defense plans to be implemented at the appropriate time and under the appropriate circumstances in strict adherence to the provisions of the Constitution of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, the organic laws on states of emergency, and the organic law on national security. In this regard, President Nicolas Maduro has signed and ordered the implementation of the decree declaring a state of external disturbance throughout the national territory to protect the right of the population, the full functioning of Republican institutions, and to immediately transition to armed struggle. The entire country must mobilize to defeat the imperialist aggression. Likewise, the immediate deployment of the commander of the comprehensive defense of the nation and the governing bodies of comprehensive defenses has been ordered in all states and municipalities of the country. In strict adherence to the Article 51 of the Charter of the UN, the Venezuela reserves the right to exercise legitimate self-defense to protect its people, its territory, and its independence. We call upon the peoples and the government of Latin America, the Caribbean, and the world to mobilize in active solidarity against the imperialist aggression. As Supreme Commander Hugo Chavez Freire stated, in the face of any difficulties, however great they may be, the response of all patriots is unity, struggle, battle, and victory. So that was a very long statement by the Venezuelans. I have got a couple of people on YouTube who are requesting, guys, if you're from YouTube and you're from Venezuela, I can see you saying you're in the space, but I need you to not just be in the space, but I need you to press the request button, which is on the bottom left hand side. If you press that button, I'll be able to see you because we've got thousands upon thousands of people on the space. So I won't even be able to see you unless you request. So if you request on the bottom left hand side, John and Gerard, we'll bring you right up and you can tell us on the ground what's happening in Venezuela. So if you can do that for me, I'll be able to see you. I think there's a few seconds delay in the YouTube, so you'll be able to hear that, and then we can bring you right up. We are streaming this live on YouTube as well. I think we're like over 100 people on YouTube listening. So just click on that as well if you want to comment or discuss on the YouTube. The YouTube channel is in the tweet in the nest. Let me remove the thing, the tweet in the nest, so you can comment on the YouTube, and do follow the YouTube channel as well. Let me go to I'm looking for this person, so in the meantime, while I'm looking for them, let's go to Inevitable China.
Sure, appreciate your time, and yeah, this is a very big night. Xu Xiaoqi, the envoy from President Xi, was just in Caracas today, speaking with Maduro, right? Talking about China and Venezuela's ties, amidst the pressure going on from the United States. 2 years ago, early, I believe January 2024, Venezuela applied to and made a motion to join BRICS. This, of course, was shot down by Brazil at the time, who had the ability to veto. However, of
The fuck? All right, man. So, yeah, footage from our contacts in Caracas showing the Trump regime. A couple more videos, new videos coming out. Apache helicopters targeting. Fuckers are raining in hell, man. Fucking Donald Trump, dumbass piece of shit. Another war in Venezuela. Another fucking war. And there better be, some type of resistance to this from the Venezuelan people, man. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Like this is they better declare war from here to Colombia to Cuba to all that shit, man. It's time to stand up for yourselves. Venezuelan American AH-64 Apache helicopter attack with 70mm rockets and 30mm cannon, Fort Tijuana, Caracas. Alright, these are the Apache AH-64 Apache helicopters. They're tearing shit up, man. And people are saying that, I guess they're giving it time to see if the UN and the international, they can come together and stop this shit. Yeah, but Trump didn't even get Congress's approval for this shit, so I don't know. This motherfucker's acting on, off of whatever they have on him on the Epstein files. He's just doing whatever Netanyahu and them want him to do, So let's see. I mean, we got to see how this plays out, man. We really got to see how this plays out, and we need, hopefully there's some resistance, that Maduro's not all talk, and the people of Venezuela defend their homeland. Venezuela official statement: the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela rejects, repudiates, and announces before the international community the grave military aggression perpetrated by the current government of the United States of America against Venezuelan territory and its population, the civilian in military areas of Caracas, the capital of the republic. Let me see. Objective attacks and other siege. Seized Venezuela's strategic resources, particularly its oil and minerals, attempting to forcibly break the nation's political independence. Yeah, so all this is for oil and minerals, guys. It's an economic move out of desperation by the United States empire, due to Russia essentially winning in Ukraine, China beating us in tech and AI. The U.S. empire is folding, and so this is an act of desperation by these people, and so most of the, they always want to tie in Venezuela with the drug situation. We all know that comes from Mexico mainly, and a lot of people that work in the U.S. government turn a blind eye to it. They've been doing that for years, from Iran-Contra back to 60s, 70s. They've been doing that for years. And they use the drug money to fund a lot of their wars. So we know it's not the drugs, and most of it comes from Mexico. We know it's not the Venezuelan people. They don't give a fuck about Venezuelan people. You had Donald Trump the other day saying Venezuelans eat rats in the middle of the street and all that shit. This is about minerals and oil, okay? And pushing China, Russia back, right? Because that was their little hub in South America, Russia and China. Because, now they try to get Afghanistan. China took Afghanistan. Now they own Bagram Air Base and all that shit. Iran conquered Iraq, essentially. They wouldn't be playing this shit with Iran. They know better. They would not be trying to invade Iran. Well, we don't know yet, right? But it wouldn't go down like this for sure. So we gotta see how this plays out, man.
Obviously, what we see is not always as we get. So, what's going to happen in the short future? I don't want to be again the doomsayer that says, "Well, the Maduro regime is over. The fireworks are here." In 2 weeks from now, the idea that the United States is going to have Machado in Venezuela's sea that's just not going to happen. There's way too much resistance internally from Venezuela. And among Venezuela's allies.
I just want to quickly go to
Sure.
Cosmic. Cosmic, thanks for joining us. I believe that you're in Venezuela. You were on the YouTube link. That link's in the nest, guys. Click on it and you'll be able to speak in there. But is that right? If you want to give people a bit of a background of where you are, you said you were just 10 blocks away from the presidential palace. Cosmic, can you speak?
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Cosmic, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
Who is Soleimani? Suleiman?
Yeah, Suleiman, yeah.
Oh, how you? Yes, how you doing, my brother? This is Cosmic Messenger from Caracas.
Brilliant. And you said you're at the you're about 10 blocks away from the presidential palace?
That is correct. Yes.
And
I'm right in the center. Right now, I'm right in the center of Caracas, and where I am located, we still have electricity here, and we are awaiting orders for mobilization right now.
And you are so you are next to the palace. What's the situation there? You said you've got electricity. Is there calm there? Is there chaos there? Are people mobilizing?
Well, where I am right now,
one of these creators
everybody
here
is
that's really
still
pissing me off.
in their apartments right now. I am a member of the militia, so I am awaiting orders from my superior to mobilize.
And you've not received that order yet?
Not as yet. Not as yet. We're waiting for the orders from above to mobilize.
And will you be defending Maduro and the Venezuelan government, or what do you think the situation is?
We will be defending Venezuela, the soil of Venezuela, from the imperialist power. Okay? Whatever issues they may have with Maduro, that will be solved here locally. But we don't want foreign interference from other nations in our local issue. I don't know if you get me.
I do get it. I do get it. And so basically, what you're saying is what the U.S. is banking on is the possibility that people will turn on Maduro. Do you think that may happen?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Everybody here, the militia and the populace, is well armed to defend the soil of Venezuela.
And how is the situation in Venezuela in terms of the bombing? We've seen a lot of aerial bombardment of Caracas. What's your
Well,
thoughts
I
on that?
mean, I was caught by surprise because I was sleeping. It was approximately about 2 a.m. that I picked up my phone and I looked at the Twitter feeds, and I was totally surprised because I don't know how those helicopters got into Caracas. You get me? We have some very excellent air defenses, so I am asking myself, how on earth did those helicopters get in here? But as I said, Suleiman, we are awaiting right now orders from above to mobilize.
Yeah, yeah. In terms of the presidential palace, we've seen some tanks mobilized near there. Can you see any kind of activity near where you are?
No. As I said, I'm about 10 blocks away from there. And right now, that must be cornered off totally right now. Because that place is well guarded right now by the National Guard. So I would not even venture to go up there right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, and is there anything else you want to let the audience know about?
Yes, I would just like them to know that if we have to die, we will die defending Venezuela. Okay? We will not allow Trump and his neocons, globalist, Zionist supporters.
Respect that shit. I respect that shit, man.
The land of Venezuela. We have already defended Venezuela from an imperial power, which was Spain, and we will do it again from the Colossus of the North. I think Trump has gone insane, totally insane. We're a peaceful people. Yes, we have problems, but our problems, we will solve them locally. So I know you may say, how come I have this type of accent? I am born here in Caracas. Caracas gave me birth. I am a well-traveled individual. I'm also a member of the militia. I'm a man-pad shooter. I'm also a sharpshooter, and I will defend Venezuela, even if it means that I have to give up my life. But we Venezuelans are a very proud nationalistic people. We don't mess with anybody. We have problems, as I said, and we will solve our problems between ourselves.
Why do you think the United States of America is bombing your country? A statement coming out from Venezuela says it's for the oil and the minerals. What's your view?
I totally agree. And you can see that the recent Nobel Prize winner for peace has called for an invasion of Venezuela, a clear CIA Mossad puppet. And there's no doubt that the mineral wealth, the oil, the waters, the forests of Venezuela are the target of this regime change operation.
Yeah, Marco Rubio would be loving this.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I'd love to add to his point too, if because Venezuela does have a heavy supply of heavy sour oil.
One second, inevitable.
Sure.
Just give me 2 seconds. We will come to the rest of the audience. It's just that he could be having to leave any second now. So just want to ask him a few more questions, and then we can just give our analysis on that. What's Cosmic? What's your view on Maria Machado? Machado, sorry.
Well, Maria Machado represents the rich oligarchy of Venezuela, the oligarchy of the surname, who in the past, this oligarchy with Lopez and Guaido and a number of them have pilfered the country for many, many decades. She is not the foster boy, but the foster girl for Marco Rubio, the neoconservatives, the globalists, and as I said before, a puppet of the Zionist regime in Tel Aviv. So I'm sure you must have heard already her plans and that she has for Venezuela. You know, to really just sell out totally the mineral resources, the wealth of Venezuela to the globalist interests, who will, I can assure you, pilfer and rape the Venezuelan nation.
Well, yeah,
so she along with the oligarchy that is presently in Madrid, Spain, because most of them have migrated to Europe. A lot of them, most of them also are located in Miami. You know, they are the ones who are behind the whole of this orchestration. I know that right now Trump is in a corner right now. I don't know how he's going to get out of it. Because if those Chinook helicopters that supposedly came into our airspace with American soldiers, Suleiman, take it from me, they will not leave Caracas.
Uh-oh.
They will not leave Caracas. We will hunt them down. We will hunt them down. And then I asked Trump, what are you going to do? What are you going to tell MAGA? What are you going to tell the American people when your soldiers begin?
The fuck happened, man? This dude was good. Yeah, there better be some resistance. This is an illegal invasion. The American people do not support this. Fuck that. We don't support this bullshit. It's an illegal invasion of a sovereign nation, man. Fuck you.
Okay, my friend.
Those are imperialist thugs. We don't have nothing to do with the U.S. troops that are involved in this shit.
We've got about 120, 130 people on YouTube. So guys, you can listen to it on YouTube if it is a little bit choppy on the X space. In addition to that, obviously there is comments, and we are commenting on the YouTube as well. I'm commenting on there as well, and do follow the YouTube channel where you do live. We do the live spaces on there. We do live video shows on there every day. We do live videos on there. So do click on that as well, the tweet in the nest, and do follow the YouTube. You just click on it and press follow. Do support what we do. We are trying our best to give you guys the live news, the live information without the propaganda. So if you can do that for us, that would be appreciated, and we would really, yeah, we would definitely appreciate it. Let's go to guys. If you're from Venezuela, do give me a message either in the YouTube or in DMs. Obviously, I see the YouTube more easily, to be honest. So if you can give a message in the YouTube, like this guy did, then we'll be able to get you on as well to hear more people from the ground to see what is going on. Let's go to that girl, and then we'll go to Red. Let me bring some more people up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to hear that man say, if we have to die, we'll die fighting. Which, of course, I don't question, the heart of the people, the soul of the people. Of course, yeah, I don't question that at all. But that just broke my heart. Why is this man thinking about having to, die? Go down without a fight. Go down for what? What? Why? Why are we doing this? Venezuela. It's not a threat. Venezuela was not a threat. I know why we're doing this. Venezuela was not a threat. And this is a human being saying this, right? And he's a strong man. He's not fleeing. He's waiting to mobilize. And sadly, again, I heard what he said. He said the helicopters that got into their airspace, he's shocked because, it shouldn't have been able to do that or whatever. We probably shut down whatever type of defense they had. We probably already went in and hacked it. Okay, we're working with Israel to do these. So what do you think? Like after all this, America's going to be like, oh, we're going to just go back home? These people are focused. They are on a mission and they're going to achieve their goal. They're
against the criminal attack by the United States of America on Venezuela. Our Zona des Paz is being brutally assaulted. State terrorism against the brave Venezuelan people and against our America. Homeland or death, we shall overcome. The U.S. Embassy in Venezuela has told people not to travel. What else have we got? Apparently, Trump gave the bombing of Venezuela a green light days ago, according to CBS News. They say that Trump gave the green light days ago, but the command office decided that they wanted to conduct an operation, an attack on Nigeria first, and then bomb Venezuela.
No, they haven't done anything, right, to the American leadership. What must they be feeling? Why? Like I often hear some Americans say, and especially before October the 7th, when I used to hear them say, oh, but Cuba this, and the Southern Americans, and they don't aspire to our values. They don't aspire to American values. I'm sorry, but they don't aspire to the same values as Trump and Netanyahu and Hegseth and these people. These are war criminals. I haven't seen anybody from South America do this. They don't aspire to the same values. I'm at a loss for words. I'm totally at a loss for words. We're going in and assassinating their leader, because he's co-host, and I'll come straight to you. Go ahead, Santina, jump in.
No, thank you so much, Casey. I was just when the other person was just talking about oil. It's very important to note that in a bold move that reshapes Latin America's energy dynamics, China Concord Resources Corp (CCRC) has deployed a 1 billion floating oil facility in Lake Maracaibo, Western Venezuela. The project, a 20-year production sharing agreement with Venezuela's state oil company PDVSA, aims to pump 60,000 barrels per day. Framed as a commercial venture, its scale, its locations raise deep repercussions. Is China quietly constructing a strategic buffer in Venezuela to secure the energy supply shield of Maduro's regime from Venezuela's pressure? So, I mean, this is really important when we're talking about oil and what's happening and China as well with Venezuela. So there you go. Thank you.
We also have a couple of things. One is the U.S. military seem to have launched an attack on the mausoleum of former Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez. We also have this is it's craziness. Okay, that's what's
I'm
going on.
sorry. I'm sorry, Suleiman.
We are live on YouTube as well, guys. So click on the better and do support the YouTube and the space, because we do YouTube streams regularly on there. Daily live streams, we stream the X Spaces, and we do stream live streaming as well about whatever the latest news is and videos as well. So go on there, follow the YouTube, and like the YouTube stream as well. We've got about 50 people liking, but we need everyone to be liking the YouTube stream. Sorry, that girl, you were gonna say something?
Well, and also everybody in the space really needs to. I don't know if you got the link to your YouTube, but they really need to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell to your YouTube too, because in times like this, there's not going to be too many people telling the truth. But so you're saying that they attacked, they struck Hugo Chavez, basically his resting site? Is that what you just said there?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Palestine, they bomb houses where kids stay, where wives stay, where family stays. This is the kind of terrorists that we're dealing with. I just want to add real quick before I got to jump in a meeting, guys. Repost the space, and please, guys, when you see the U.S. troops in the United States, understand that the United States is occupied by the genocidal Zionist imperialists. The American people did not vote for this. The American people do not stand for this. We did not have one vote to this. Congress did not put up any votes. Nobody voted for this. This was just out of nowhere, midnight. Right now, it's 2 a.m. in most places in the United States. No one's even awake to see this right now. So I just want to put that out there, guys, that we love Venezuela. The people here, we love Venezuela, and we hope Venezuela the best. And if you see the U.S., understand that what the U.S. and the United States means now is the Israel-controlled army, the Israel-controlled entity. Thank y'all.
Actually, do you know what,
Absolutely.
Brother Mofet? I know what you're saying, right? But there are those people that did vote for this.
And please, guys, when you see the U.S. troops in the United States, understand that the United States is occupied by the genocidal Zionist imperialists. The American people did not vote for this. The American people do not stand for this. We did not have one vote to this. Congress did not put up any votes. Nobody voted for this. This was just out of nowhere, midnight. Right now, it's 2 a.m. in most places in the United States. The U.S., understand that what the U.S. and the United States means now is the Israel-controlled army, the Israel-controlled entity. Thank y'all.
Actually, do you know what,
Absolutely.
Brother Mofet? I know what you're saying, right? But there are those people that did vote for this, and those are the ones that go underneath the posts. Casey and I talk about them often and say, "Yay, I voted for this. Yeah, go on, Trump. I voted for this." It's pathetic. But the point you're making generally